Hi everyone, welcome back to LQ Comics. My name's Lisa and I'm the creator of the webcomic Cut Loose. And today I wanted to talk about the process of me making the cover for my comic. And the reason behind this is because we used to work with thumbnails which were 300 to 300 pixels, which was not a lot to work with. And a couple of months ago we got the good news that we could create covers for our webcomic, which is very exciting because it's a lot more to work with, and I thought the process was interesting and that's why I'm gonna share it with you today. The first version of my cover is a very rough sketch of the idea that I had in my head. It is just the three characters minding their own business, sitting on some stairs in the outdoors. I thought it was a fun idea to work with, and as you can see in the next versions of my cover, you will see how I change it up a bit. In the second version, I gave myself some pointers to change. I really need this because I often oversee details, so I draw circles around the things that I really want to change so that I don't forget them later. In the third one, you can see that I did change a couple of things, like the title, the faces, the hair, and small details here and there that I still wasn't happy about, but I did change it. So that's really how I work. So often I make things that look finished but aren't really finished. That's just how I roll. So yeah, here I have a title that I thought was gonna be my definite font, but it turns out at the end you will see that I changed it up a bit because I didn't really like how it interacted with the background, but you will see what I mean in the next one. So as you can see in the fourth version of my cover is when I drew the background. Now you can see that it doesn't really match with the font, but with the title itself, and that's the point that I realized, like, I'm gonna have to choose another font because this one's not really gonna work. Here I gave everybody their clothes, still to me a rough sketch, but this was the idea I was going at. And I was really getting there. I was really liking it and I was happy about the clothes, just needed, small touches. As you can see in the sixth version of my cover, I changed the pose from Chrissy because I thought her previous pose was stiff. And this one is a little bit more dynamic. She was leaning in forward. I don't know, it just matches her character. So I thought it would suit her better to stand like that than just have her arms together. This is just the line art that I finished. Nothing really changed, just me being happy with how things turned out and sticking with it. So then I decided to just trace the sketch lines into definite line art. At this point I started coloring and I was happy about the line art, but when I colored it in I wasn't really happy with the result. I thought it was looking kind of bland and I couldn't just work with it. I don't know, I wasn't feeling it, I didn't like it, and that's why you wouldn't see a finished version of this one, because I didn't put any effort in the skin, in the faces. I just colored it in and realized I didn't like it. I did change to Photoshop at this point, and I really thought it was I still think it was a good decision, as you will see in the next one. The difference is astonishing. I mean, if I look at this and I look back at the other one, I am really happy that I made the decision to go to Photoshop. You just have a lot of more options in Photoshop for coloring than you do in Artrage. So I didn't want to limit myself because it's the cover of my comic and I did want to put a lot more effort in it than I would do in other artworks that I created. So that's why I chose it, and I was really happy because changing the background, the telephone poles, first of all, it was a good idea for me to give them more like sky colors because they make a lot more sense in the time of day. The clouds I'm really happy about, the leaves on the bushes I'm really happy about. So yeah, overall good decision, and yeah, I'm really happy I stick with it. Here you can see that I chose a new title and it's way finer than the last one. It doesn't interact as much with the background as the first one. It could be because of the telephone poles that aren't black anymore, but whatever. I really like this one because they look like brush strokes and it's not that stiff anymore. So I'm glad I changed the title, yeah. So as you can see here, I put details in the stairs and gave the stairs some shading, also the shadow that would come from the characters. It wasn't an easy thing to do. I did have to puzzle a lot, but yeah, I think I did it right. To me, if I look at it right now, I think it makes sense. If I did it wrong, I don't even care anymore, so this is what I'm gonna stick with. I'm really happy with it, and yeah. To me, coloring is not that hard, but I do have difficulties with matching colors with each other, so it took me a while to stick with these ones. Especially the outfit from Leah, it's the middle character. She is based on my personality, and I'm not the most sporty person there is, but I'm a combination of the style from Sam and the style from Chrissy, left and right. So I often go casual chic. I really like to think I go casual chic, I don't know, or either way, very casual. But Sam was already casual chic, and then there was Chrissy, who was already fancy, a little skirt, and there wasn't a lot of room for something different, and I didn't want to go very similar. I did want to give off the vibe that they all had their own type of personality, because honestly the most sporty one in the group is Chrissy, but whatever, she was wearing a skirt so she couldn't. So that's why I gave the character Leah the sporty outfit, and I did have those pants in my mind, but it's really difficult to not go full matchy match like you see in these sporty advertisements. So I did have to puzzle around with the colors, and I think I did well. In the 12th version of the cover, I did some shading and lighting. So as you can see in the skirt from Chrissy, I put some texture to give it that velvety look, if I'm using the right word, to give it more depth. In the last one, I did change the skin tone because I thought I was finished in the one before this. When I started comparing them to other pieces, I realized that my characters are really yellow based, and I don't know, I wasn't really liking it, and they stood out in a bad way. It's not that my art is that bad, but I wasn't liking it. And then, like I said before, this is the cover of my webcomic, so I did want to do it completely right, and not have something bother me, so I just, you know, changed up their skin tone so they're more red based. But yeah, I think that was a good decision, because now it looks weird when you go from the yellow one to the red one, but when you stare at this one it becomes normal, and then when you stare back at the other one, they become so yellow, so pale. So yeah, I'm really happy I did pick the red based one, and it looks like they're, you know, they look more human, they look more alive instead of dead. So yeah, this is what I stuck with. It's not that all interesting, but this is the progress that I went through to create the cover of my webcomic. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It is way beyond what I thought that I could make, so honestly I'm really happy that it turned out like this. I do hope people like it as much as I do, because I'm over the moon about how it turned out. I'm sorry it's not a quick draw, because it really took me ages. It's the reason why my comic had to go on a small hiatus, because this was a big part of where my time went. So I think it took me like a month or so to create this one, like a small month. I did spend a lot of time making this, but yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you are too. If you want more of this, you can subscribe. You can also subscribe my comic on tapas.io. I will link it below. So yeah, thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.